as a professional man, I feel like maybe I could give some solid answers here on Ask Men, but we'll see. Women are often told you don't need a man as a symbol of individual strength, but why isn't the sentiment men, you don't need a woman, common also? Why does it only go one way? With celebrating and encouraging being single, an individual will help with all the lonely men out there. I am going to say that men are told that being independent is fine. Not all the time, but other men say this to other men. But also, I think that culturally, in the past, women haven't really been independent, right? Like, they weren't allowed to vote, could not get credit cards, stuff like that. And not that long ago, this stay-at-home wife thing was the play. And so now that we're kind of moving on from that and saying, no, you can do what you want to do, it doesn't just have to be because of what your husband wants. That's why we're hearing that more. You don't need a man. It's less about like you don't mean a man, or you don't need a man relationship wise, and more like you can do what you want to do as a woman, and you don't have to feel like you have to get support from a man in order to make it happen. I think that's what's going on there. So advice met with a girl and she has a specific profession, 18 plus model. Is it worth building a serious relationship, and why? She's very cool, sociable, just a little embarrassed by her work. That's on you, man. Yeah, literally the first answer. No one can answer that for you, bro. You got to find out for yourself. I mean, genuinely, there are people that don't care about this and there are people that care about this. Some people really like the exclusivity of relationships. I'm one of those people. I went through like being fresh out of high school and being, a little bit of a hoe for a little bit. And I think you kind of reach a point where you decide like you want to keep doing that and having fun, or you just kind of want to have something that's steady and consistent. And to me, it's nice to have that consistency. It's like a very grounded thing in your life. But not everyone can get that because sometimes it can take a while to find the right person. So, it's kind of up in the air, man. But it's however cool with it you are. I hear a lot of people talk about how it doesn't work out, and it seems like there's a lot more people coming out that are in that particular field of work talking about how hard it is to date because it's awkward. But it really just is on you, man. I mean, look at Adam 22. That dude doesn't care about anything that happens with his wife. You almost wonder why they're even married in the first place. Like, why not just be like two people that hang out and just do whatever? And why even get married if y'all are just gonna like do whatever? Anyways, what are your go-to snacks? Cosmic brownies, sushi. I'm a salty cracker, jerky, roasted peanuts, chips. Okay. Pickle brine is basically old school Gatorade. I once knew a guy who would pickles out of a jar and drink the pickle juice. Yeah, I had a roommate like that too. Cheez-Its, blueberries. Though she prefers olive juice. Kind of hoping the flavor mixer gushers. Kefir, okay. Yeah, these are, okay, no crazy answers here. Although I guess I could sort by controversial and see somebody that says ass as a go-to snack. Men, what are the little things that a woman does with you that you love? Makes me laugh. Probably the most important thing. That you can list sexual things as well. All those things are dope as well. Not going to downplay that. But like everyday functioning, that everyday life, for sure. The fact that she can make me laugh at almost anything. Head rubs, shoulder rubs, fussing over me if I'm ill. Yeah, I don't get that. I get told I'm a baby when I'm ill. But to be fair, whenever I get sick, it's like I'm dying. So, I mean, you know how it is. Moving in with my girlfriend. How would you split the rent? Hey guys, quick explanation of the current situation. I'm living with my brother in Berlin in a 3-room and we pay $14.50 rent. Yeah, we're very lucky. My brother moves out end of June, so my girlfriend wants to move in. She pays $6.50 for her current 1-room apartment. How would you split the rent? I make about $45. She gets $1,400 because she's a student. I want it fair, of course, without seeming greedy. I really don't want her to suddenly pay $1,000 rent. What would you suggest? I would, if you can afford to continue to pay your part. You pay $14.50 in rent combined or total? I would say she can just keep paying $6.50 and y'all hang out and I don't know. Decide what makes sense split based on income. It also depends on how much you see this person in your long-term life. 3-4 month relationship. She keeps the same. I mean, if it's $14.50 and you were, I don't know how much you were paying before, like maybe you were splitting it in half, still pay your half, but then just pay the other half of the $6.50 if that's what she can afford. She's a student, she makes $1,400. You make quite a bit more money than her. That's how I would do it personally. I wouldn't get worked up about it. I don't really personally get worked up about money. Like don't get me wrong, I understand. Like we don't want somebody living there for free, but I'm not going to sit here and get worked up if they're paying not exactly half. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I don't know. How do you honestly think you're going to die? Super cool stunt jump. Or maybe skydiving, you know? I've been a handful of times. One of these times, something's not going to work out. I'm Canadian, so I might just get in the suicide machine once I'm too old to take care of myself and living gets too hard or expensive. Kind of sad to think about. Massive heart attack. That's probably the most common one for most Americans. Don't be rectal trauma. Heart attack. Hoping for an incident at work. This is not fun to read. Hold on a second. Speaking of okay. I was about to say speaking of, but the last one wasn't about relationships. What do you do if you're driving with a woman at night and she tells you to let her out of the car? Suppose you were driving with your lady, you get into a bit of a disagreement with her, and then she tells you to stop the car and let her out. Mind you, you are nowhere near her house or yours, but she tells you that she wants to get off. You try to reason with her, but she insists she wants to get out. What do you do? I mean, you got to let her out of the car, man. I understand where they're coming from like a safety perspective. I would probably say like, okay, if I'm going to let you out, I want to make sure that you have a safe way to get home though. Like I know that we're mad at each other, but can we put that on the back burner and maybe an Uber or something that can pick you up from or maybe drop her off at a location that's very public where you know she'll be safe. That I understand where you're coming from, you know, unless she has a gun on her, you know, then just, you know, drop her off wherever you want, I guess. She didn't ask to get out. We were in a parking lot of a grocery store and she just got out. I stopped the car and told her if she wasn't breaking up with me, this isn't how people in a relationship dealt with conflict. We needed to talk about it. She got back in the car. We talked for an hour, worked it through. Married for 41 years. Yeah, that's how relationships work, man. Arguments are not the end of it. She's an adult. Let her out. Stop the car and let her out. Yeah, I mean, you got to let her out, man. Them's the rules. Pull over, let them out, and get the fuck out of there. The review dash cam is my proof I left them and they were healthy. I understand where this guy is coming from, by the way. Like the guy that originally posted this, he's looking at it like it's nighttime. She's not near her house. She's not near my house. I don't know that she'll be safe if I just drop her off here. I understand where he's coming from, but she is a grown adult. And the least I could do in that situation, I can say, if you really want me to drop you off here, can you at least make sure that you have a way to get home? Or can I drop you off at someplace that's more public? Or can we get you an Uber or something? And if she says no, she says no. You know, she can figure it out. But, you know, to the men wearing condoms, what are your recommendations? All right. My niece, 19 female, has come to me, 38 female, with some questions about condoms. I know a lot of men don't like wearing them, but I want her to know it's important that she and whoever she's sleeping with protect themselves and that not all condoms are the same. I want to give her a few different options, so I figured this would be the best place to ask. I guess whatever is, like, don't get any crazy stuff. Like, don't they have stuff for like super sensitive people? I guess you could get that. You know, I don't, that's a complicated question. I feel like that's something you should be more about telling a boy, but I understand the point of a woman keeping those around. Because you never know, man. What if you get these lifestyle skin brand condoms, and they're non-latex in case a partner has a latex allergy? What if her first boyfriend needs some magnums? You know what I'm saying? You know, one size does not fit all. Sure, you can stretch any non-novelty condom out enough to cover your forearm, but it's not the same as actually using it or wrapping around something lacking a bone structure. Durex. Yeah, I can't really give it good advice for this because I'm going raw. Like, to be fair, to lay it all on the table, I can't give solid advice to this because I'm in a relationship. I don't wear them. So, grain of salt. If you could eat, drink literally anything, things that we all know are crazy unhealthy, as much as you want with absolutely zero health physical repercussions, what would it be? Chocolate milk and bourbon. That sounds crazy, but if I can just basically drink, like, even just like a Jack and Coke, if I can just have Jack and Cokes all day, and I could just be in a constant state of a buzz, and there's no negative health repercussions for it, I love the taste of, like, Jim Beam and Coke or Jack and Coke, and it's mixed with Coke. I mean, there's some bourbons that I could just drink all day too, but then I could also just enjoy a nice healthy buzz all day and not have to worry about, like, getting fat and being super unhealthy. Food-wise, it sounds corny to say sushi because sushi is technically healthy for you, but let me think of something real particularly unhealthy. I guess like cosmic brownies. Cosmic brownies would be like the go-to. Most Little Debbie snacks, I know that we're at that point where we're like, these weren't as good as they were when we were kids. I think that we're just grown adults, and I think that, like, some of us are still man-children, and so, you know, cosmic brownies are just good. What are your stories about women randomly saying, I have a boyfriend? I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been told this. I know of the joke, you know, that I have a boyfriend, but I've never actually been told it. Now, I have told a gay guy that I have a girlfriend, and it was when I was drunk and I was taking out trash, and I don't remember what he asked. Oh no, he was trying to help me with some stuff that I dropped. I was taking it to the trash, our old apartment complex, and he was just like, oh, let me help you. And I said, I have a girlfriend. And it was weird, but I was drunk. And I was told later that I said it, so I don't entirely know how true that story is, or if somebody's just trying to embarrass me. I feel like I do remember telling somebody something. I don't remember what it was. But, you know, don't drink alcohol. I feel like since forever, I've seen people on the internet say that all women will say I have a boyfriend just randomly if they approach her or speak to her. Is this a real thing that's happened to you? Or is it just not fully true, a narrative joke? I think it's mainly a joke. I personally have never seen it happen. It's never happened to me before. And I'm not exactly like a 10 out of 10, so it's not like a... I don't know what it's like to get rejected, but, like, I've never gotten that. Oh, this woman dropped her ID at the bar shortly after coming in. I picked it up and said, excuse me, miss. And she turned, looked me up top and bottom and said, thanks, I have a boyfriend. I said, congratulations, you dropped your I have a boyfriend. I just looked at her friend across the room with a what the fuck look on my face. I put her ID back on the ground where it was. She went to go order a drink and the bartender asked for ID. She couldn't get it and then got asked to leave. Well, very strange. What are ways to say I want to have sex with you without saying it? Whip it out, I guess, man. Good luck. Pray, you know, pray. Don't whip it out. That's not good advice. I'm not even gonna contribute with that question. How many people have you slept with? Why are all the questions about this shit? Why do you care what random people, how many people they've slept with? Let's see what some of the answers are. I want to see some crazy answers at the very least. There's no way of knowing. That's one way to put it. Somewhere in the 50 to 60 range. After 50, I realized it might not be me driving the bus here. Ooh, 3 people. One for 2 years, another for 23. Nice, man. Your math is bad as my English. 3 people. One for 2 years, another one for... Oh, he said 3 people. I think he missed... It's 2 people. I was saying, hey, good job on the one for 23 years, man. 4, all were from hookups on dating apps. 0, but only because I can't go negative yet. Just 1. 1, the wife. 0, probably won't be changing soon. See, it's depressing. I don't even want to get into it. Why do guy friends disappear after they get girlfriends? I can never understand what makes the fellas quit maintaining their friendships once they found some new girl. That's not always the case. But I will say, like, we invest more time, and especially if it's a serious relationship, you have to look at it. They're investing time in somebody that's going to be their future. You know what I mean? Like, if they have intentions to maybe marry this woman or have kids with this woman, then they're going to need to invest more time in them. I'm not saying that they have to cut out all their friends altogether, but if there's less friends, that's why. How do you regain confidence after a put-down comment from a girl? I'm 29. I was out for drinks yesterday. My male friend, also 29. He's a good-looking guy and in many ways better looking than I. We got talking to this 23-year-old girl who was okay looking but not spectacular. I can't remember exactly how it came up. She said, "You look like a dad" to me, and then said, "You don't" to my friend. We both sort of scoffed at the fact someone would say that, and then she immediately said, "Don't get me started on your hairline" to me. I didn't take that one as well and didn't say anything in response. I sat there in silence until we left. Was she fat? Hey man, don't, like, who gives a shit? I don't know if maybe this is like a personal confidence thing. I never really give a shit about this type of thing. So I really feel like I can't give the great advice to you. Like, the only thing I could tell you is, like, do things that boost your confidence. Like, go to the gym, I guess. Do things that make you feel more confident in yourself. Some of those no-fap people say if you just stop fapping, then you'll feel more confident. Maybe try that, I guess. It feels like a confidence issue, because somebody tells that to me, I'm probably just clowning them back. You know what I mean? And, you know, especially stuff like related to your hairline. I don't know, shave that shit bald. I fucked my hairline up a long time ago, and that was my own personal doing. So the amount I care is kind of limited. I'm not exactly the best when it comes, like, I've been told by dermatologists that I need to stop taking hot showers, and I'm like, listen, I'm telling you right now, it's not happening. I'm turning it to 3,000 degrees every single time, and I might as well take 2 showers a day. My dermatologist was like, no, you should be taking 3 showers a week, and you should be using room temperature water for your skin. And I'm like, I'd rather just be ashy. That's kind of the same thing that happened to my hair too. I dry that bitch out. There's no oil on my body. I burn it all off. I can't give any good advice on this, because it's like my advice is going to be, who cares? My hairline has been getting worse, and I have become increasingly conscious and insecure about it over the last few months as a result. Shave your head one time. But it's easy to say that when you aren't on the receiving end and are generally better looking. She was clearly more interested in him. This has really knocked my confidence on a weekend where I was making a concerted effort to talk more to girls. The Rock is bald, man. Just shave your head bald. Like, there are bald dudes. Just be like a Jason Statham. Like, hit up the gym, shave your head bald, and just be an action hero. Who cares? I cannot give advice on this stuff, because I'm just like, I can't even believe in online bullying. Like, just close your eyes, dude. I understand that that's only me. Not everyone thinks that way, but like, who gives a shit what some asshole thinks about you? She's meeting off with that? What is she? What is she, lack social etiquette? Who's saying that out the gate? That's like me walking up and being like, "Hey, what's up? You look like a mom. You look like you don't have any kids, right? And don't get me started on how fat you are. That's why you look like a mom. You look like you pushed out 5 kids, you fat." I wouldn't do that, because it's a weird thing to do to people just immediately out the gate. Now, if somebody's mean to me, I'll be mean back to them, but she just sounds weird. Like, is somebody going to immediately say something? I'm just wondering if there's a comment that's going to be like, "Hey," of course, didn't load. I was wondering if somebody was going to say like, "Hey, this person's just an asshole." Oh, these are all about dating. What are some harsh truths about the dating world? I'll tell you. It is not like they're saying it's rough out there, like the job market. It is not as complicated as you think it is. And this whole idea of like once you start trying, or once you stop trying so hard to do certain things, it just kind of falls into place is relatively true. Now, I'm not saying like, yeah, stop washing, stop, taking care of yourself. The less I'm not saying that. Take care of yourself, be the best person you can be. And if you're trying to get better, like 5% better every day, like you're going to the gym, you're trying to improve in your job, you're learning a new talent, over time, you're just inherently going to be a more interesting person, and you'd be surprised with the confidence that comes from that growth, how approachable you become. But I don't know. That's just my advice. Anyways, I think we can wrap it up there. I feel like we're going to get asked a bunch of relationship questions. Do you prefer working with mostly men or mostly women? Oh, let's end it on a controversial one. Men. Men, and it's for the locker room talk. All right. See you in the next one.